Hello, this is Ronnie. I'm making a new video. I want to talk about something different. Um, but before I go on to that video and stuff, I wanted to say something. I still have this bad cold, so if you hear me cough and stuff, you kind of understand. Also, I wanted to say sorry. My hair is kind of a little bit messy. Also wanted to say I'm about to do the new weekly defense tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to upload it try it tomorrow. Depending on how fast it gets, I'll upload it tomorrow. I'm sorry if I'm repetitious there. But like I was saying, I will upload the video tomorrow, depending on how fast the upload speed is. So I'll try to upload it. But I'm going to talk about a different topic today, about university and college and do's and don'ts. I was meant to do one. I talked about this topic a few months ago, but for some reason, the Facebook stream kind of cut off. So I decided, you know what, I'll make it with like this video. And sorry. Um, damn. I want to talk about this. What I was going on topic about is some stuff you just don't do. I mean, stuff don't. Stuff, the things to do and things not to do in college. I was kind of talking about like people treating colleges and universities as vacation centers. I and I kind of don't really recommend doing that because, but I will talk about how it goes. And you know what? I'll just talk about that topic now about vacationing. People probably be asking, what is vacationing? Why are you saying this and stuff? Well, the main reason the people go to college, universities for uh, some, I'm not gonna say everyone, but there are some people who treats universities and colleges, especially as vacation centers, especially with people that's never really, that's probably, especially for foreigners, but also for people that's in rural areas or in very small, like in very small cities that never went anywhere or has strict parenting. So the people who just decided to go to universities, their parents trust them, stuff like that. Then they meet these. Then they start meeting friends, get to know everybody. Then they start going to go with their friends, have fun, and stuff like that. Um, but I'm not against having fun or anything. But the thing I was saying, the people kind of get really. I mean, the person that goes to colleges, universities, and they start getting addicted, and go to they go to these events all the time, these parties, and most of the time, they could be getting there, going drunk. I mean, getting drunk, having sex, or doing drugs. Um, like I said, I don't really care if you guys are. I mean, I don't care if you're going there to have sex or experimenting and stuff like that, or drinking and stuff like. But don't do drugs or any of that stuff. But the main reason why I was saying that, um, that's not really when you go to college, university. You're not going there for vacationing. You're going there to learn, get things done with your life, and move on. Um, but I have no problem having fun or anything in college and university. That's a good thing to know people, have friends and stuff like that. But the thing is, you kind of have to be careful with some people when you go to college and university because not everyone there is on quote not to be your friend. Some people just like to act, and there's people that just don't care. There's some that just don't give a shit or just takes advantage of the person. Definitely, if the person doesn't know the area, or is new to all that stuff. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, you got to be kind of careful who you going with in colleges, universities, because you don't really know if that person's going to take advantage of you or anything like that. Also, that you're when you go into school and stuff like that, um, you got to be really focused on school. And a lot of people who goes to school goes there to party and vacation. I mean, going there for partying. And the thing is, it's a very expensive vacation because unlike a vacation where you can go somewhere for a week and come back, or depending how long you're going there for, uh, yeah, it does cost money and stuff and having fun, but colleges, universities is not really places where you want to have spending about, depending on which kind of college or universities. For example, going to Creighton University, where I'm, where it's near me, it's like 36,000. What is it, a year, or is it or a semester? If it's $36,000 per semesters, that's a very expensive vacation. You could buy a freaking a nice car for that price. So the thing is, you kind of have to be smart, and you got to be serious about going to college and universities. So I wouldn't recommend treating it as a major vacation center or just purely having fun, because um, that's I would it's gonna screw you up in the long run, and it's gonna cost you a lot of money. The thing is, what I'm saying about people, you kind of have to be careful, because people like to take advantage of people that doesn't know the area. Like I was saying earlier, I'm sorry if I'm being repetitious, but I'm gonna be more detailed about this now. Is because people just don't give a shit. There's people that just don't give a shit about you and just want to use you and just throw you around. So the thing is, you kind of have to be careful with the people you hang out with and stuff like that. Definitely if you're doing drinking or stuff like that, um, or screwing around with girl or boy, no matter if stuff like that. You got to be cautious, because you don't want to end up doing a major mistake, like getting someone pregnant or getting a freaking STD or some stuff like that, or doing drugs that could get you into major trouble, or highly addicted, or even possibly kill you within and stuff like that. Because not everybody's body is different. And same if you're drinking too, you get blood alcohol poisoning. But the thing is, it's really up to you on what you're doing and stuff like that. The thing is, you gotta focus when you go on. That's one thing about, just don't treat the colleges, universities um, as a partying hub and stuff like that. And I'm about to move. That's one of them. Just don't treat it as a partying hub. And just get things focused. Just stay in, because when you go to college, university, be focused about it. Get things done, because that could also screw up your grades, your GPA, especially if you're looking to go back later on. Sorry. Another topic I want to talk about on do's and don'ts. I'm gonna talk. This is a don't. Another don't. When you go to college, university, and stuff like that, and you're looking to go there just for money, um, just like sign up for FAFSA, like financial aid. Well, if you guys don't know what FAFSA is financial aid, which the government pays you like they give you a Pell Grant, give you like a certain amount, mostly up to like $5,000 or $6,000 at max. Um, Really, mostly you get a lot more money back if you go to community colleges, like for example, Metro Community College here in Omaha. Um, but there's people who just go to college, um, and I'm about to talk about another thing in a second. Most people who go to college get financial aid, go there, do these classes up, and they reach that certain mark on that certain day when they get the financial aid check. Well, not checks, but they send you a special card. Um, sorry, sorry about this cough. When you get this financial aid check, I mean not check, you get this financial aid card from the school, and you could use it. And on that certain day, the bank, I mean the government, deposits the money to your card. It's kind of similar to a Social Security, or where those like those prepaid cards, but but you can use it anywhere. But most people who reaches that certain day when they get that money deposited to their stuff, they just drop the classes. Um, or that they just don't care. They just do some of the minimal basic work of their school and just try to get at least a C, because you need at least a 2.0 to keep getting your financial aid. The thing is, um, it's if you're going in there for money, for financial aid, you're not going to get much back. The thing is about financial aid, what I was saying about the Pell Grant, when you get $5,000 or $6,000 back, the government splits money each quarter. So if I went to so like for example, if I went to Metro for those 3 years, I mean not 3 years, but those semesters, they break it through various semesters. Like for example, they give you night like what 17 to $1,900 for each semester. Um, so if you went full time, you're gonna more likely gonna get at least $1,000 to $1,200. The thing is, that's not really a lot of money. And if you and the thing is, you only get paid within that middle of that semester. So you probably have to wait a month. You'll have to wait nearly a month to get your money back. And and yeah, you get your money back within a month of your financial aid. I mean that whole semester. So you'll have to wait another semester to get another at least $900 to $1,200 back because they have to take some of that money out of that $1,900 to pay your tuition, your books, your classes, and stuff like that. The thing is, that's not a lot of money, and people who I know people who did this stuff, they go in there and they want you to these do these things um, to just get money. They just do minimal work. There's people who came up to me asking me if I could do their papers and stuff like that. I tell them like, no, 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 I ain't gonna do it because I'm busy with my own schoolwork. I'm not gonna be um, working on you guys' stuff like that. It's just, and they just don't care. And they said the only reason I am staying in college to get a C and C and C because that's how I get more money. The thing is, you're not. That's and the problem is that's leeching off people. That's leeching off the government and stuff like that. And that's not a good thing because that's hurting people. Like because I also got financial aid and stuff like that, but I used it smart and I at the same time I got my stuff done. I'm straight A and stuff. I'm straight A for real, and I want to get things done because I want to be serious. Because the thing is, colleges or universities, um, if you're looking to stop and came back and then got those grades, and if you're looking to go back seriously going to school, um, the uh, colleges, universities will look at your GPA, and there's certain universities, like for example, like Harvard, Yale, stuff like that. They will only select people that get A grades. Even a B is even considered a bad grade to some of those universities and stuff like that. So you got to be, if you're very serious, you got to pay attention to, um, to your GPA and stuff like that. And I'll talk more about the GPA in a little bit and stuff like that. Um, but like I said, don't go in there just for money because really you're not gonna make that much. Um, and you're at the same time, it's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, it's easy to get like 900, 1,200 bucks doing just sitting there just writing a paper most of the time. But in a reality, you ain't gonna make it within that month of that quarter. Then you have to wait the next quarter because I think it's 3 months. It's 3 months for each quarter. So you have. It's not worth it. It's not well worth it. So I highly don't. I actually don't recommend doing that. So don't go to college or university just to make money, uh, and just yeah, because all it is just hurting us more, and that's why you got people that's pushing for this free college stuff because that's one of the answers to have people to stop doing that. Like I said, I'm used the money wisely. I used to pay bills and stuff like that, and I'm more serious about doing my work. But if you're just going there to make the money, um, it's not worth it, and you're better off just going and get yourself a job. Um, because not everyone that gets financial aid is gonna abuse it. Not everyone does. Most people just use it to pay the bills because not everybody can afford to work and go to school. So that's one of the reasons too. I know I'll probably get some negative feedback on that, but not everyone does it. Everybody wants a full. Because I'm more of a person that likes to focus on one thing, get things done. I don't want to focus on multiple things. This and even if I knew what's going on, how to do the top, how to do the things, I still want to focus on one thing, the most important, to get things done. Because if I focus on this and that, I won't get things done that way. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about is loans and people who goes to school to get loans. Um, this is a bad idea. And most people, and this is mostly with people that's going to universities and stuff like that, and they get these big, massive loans. For example, there's people who get like 16,000 up to 40, $50,000 loans, and and when they go to school, they don't do jack shit of anything. They don't do the work. They don't do this and that, and just go up there and get these student loans. Because unlike loans you get from the bank and stuff like that, they're more of a pain in the ass, more of a smart. The reason why it's more of a pain in the ass because the bank don't want to lose money, and loan places don't want to lose money either. They want their money back. Well, the same with the government loans and student loans and stuff like that. They provide you this loan. People goes to school and they take out these massive loans up to like 16 to 40, 50,000. Some go up to $100,000 in loans, and they take the loan. They don't, and suddenly they just drop out of school, or they keep doing bad in school, or just do the bare minimal and take out these loans. They just get some sloppy degree that no one, you're not gonna go nowhere with, and they just take this. They take the loan and they go buy stuff. Mostly stupidity stuff. I remember uh, a couple years ago, or was it last year? I was walking by some people at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and I remember hearing a conversation. It's like, well, I'm thinking about taking this $18,000 student loan and buy this whole this massive entertainment center, which had what, damn, they had the, I can't remember it. I it's funny when I do these videos. I know what they are. It's those projectors. He was gonna buy a massive entertainment center that came up to $18,000. They had a projection, massive. They had a large couch, speaker system, all this and that, the whole 9 yards, the kitchen sink. And I sit there and scratching my head. I was sitting there and uh, thinking right in my mind, it's like, damn, what a bunch of dumbass. Look at this dumbass. He's gonna get, because that's right there is not really a necessity. And the thing is, what people don't um know is that the government will start charging interest on loans. They will start charging interest on loans, even if you're in school still. They will start charging loans. Some do it after you complete your degree, but some colleges will do it right away. I mean, start doing it within a few months, even if you're still in school. And the thing is, you're gonna start charging. They're gonna want their money, and it's gonna be some really big interest. So, um, on that, if you're going to school just for loans, and what a lot of people don't know when you're taking out a student loan is that you have to pay that. Like I said, you have to pay that back. But if you don't pay it back, the government's gonna get on your ass about it big time. One damn thing, if you're in an older age and stuff like that, like in your 50s or 60s, looking to get on Social Security or retiring, good luck. Because if you get on Social Security and you still own that student loan, even the government student loans, um, they'll not let you on Social Security. They will refuse your Social Security. That IRS will get on your ass in a heartbeat too. They'll be on you. They'll be on you like flies like shit. IRS will. So the thing is, you got to be really thankful. Use your mind when you're when you're planning to use student loans. So be very uh, got to keep your head on a swivel. I'm sorry if when I do these videos, my mind is like 50 miles away. But that's how I hope you guys kind of get what I'm saying because and the thing is about these student loans is it's also hurting our economy because that's one of the biggest uh, hurtful economies right now. We owe about almost like $1 trillion or two on student loans by itself. So you kind of have to think about it. Even schools are now getting concerned. And if you talk about money or loans about when you're going to school, the advisors will even tell you they will try to change the subject. Like, are you focused on school? Or they're gonna tell you thoroughly about it. They're gonna tell you, are you serious about school? Or are you just coming here for money? Because if you're coming here for money, they'll just tell you gotta go. You can't be here because they don't want that. They don't want people there just taking out money and I mean, they don't want people just going there just for money and stuff like that because you're not learning nothing. You, it's just a waste of money. And yes, it's like a quick thing, but you have to owe that stuff. And the stuff right and the thing is, a lot of people don't know it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass in the long run if you don't know what the hell you're doing with student loans. But one thing I will say about student loans, if a person that's going to school, doing their grades right, and or having issues, or having issues, stuff like that, like if a college or university, like closed down, like most of these paid the, was it, paid? It's like it's like ITT Tech, for example, where you had to pay for each quarter and stuff like that. I forgot what it means. But the thing is, what I was saying is like ITT Tech, for example, closed down a few months ago, and you're still going to school and paying those loans off. Well, if you're still going to school and suddenly that school shuts down, and you took out a student loan for that, you could dispute that. You could go back and dispute it, um, and tell them like, "Hey, my school closed down out of nowhere. Is there any way I could pay this, or can I have this removed?" And they will work with you about that. Um, Another thing, if something happens at a school where you're doing everything okay, but you're not getting nowhere, most of this thing has to do with those scam schools and stuff like that, like National American University. My mom was pretty much kind of kicked out of school because, which is pretty much BS because she had medical reasons, but they pretty much threw her out. But now she owes a massive loan, so they're trying to figure out a way to get that taken care of, or that she's trying to go to another school. But like I was saying, if you run into those issues, talk to the people, talk to financial aid, or talk to the Department of Education about the student loans, or even IRS, and they'll try to see if they can work with you on that issue. Because if something does happen like that, then if you got a legitimate concern, if you're doing very well in school, go and talk to them about it. So and they will understand, hopefully, but most of the time they will. There's ways they could erase that loan off off your record and stuff, because if you leave it alone too much, it's gonna mess you up in the long run. So that's one of the big issues I was trying to say. Another thing I want to talk about is and this is now, if you're going, you hear this all the time. I have a feeling there's a cough coming up soon. Let me get rid of it. Sorry. The thing is, when you go to college and university, and people, you hear this thing, um, mostly with colleges, universities, you hear them on their broadcasting and stuff like that. But there's some colleges and universities will do this, but most of the colleges and universities they don't. And the thing is, you kind of have to do research, and I want to talk about this researching about colleges and universities. One is you hear this common thing. You hear that it's pretty much. I wouldn't say it's kind of like a borderline myth. Um, One of the biggest things I hear about colleges, universities, and stuff is that you once you get out of college, university, you will instantaneously get a job. And I want to say that it really depends on the college and university, and it also depends. It okay. It really depends on the college, university, and people need this. And I tell this to people a lot of times. Look into what the college and universities offer after you get that degree, because there's the things called internships and paid internships. Um, there's also things um, like volunteer work. Um, yeah, like volunteer work, internships, paid internships. And what are those? Well, internships and paid internships is pretty much where the school will send you to a job. Internships, a basic internship, you just work there for free, but you get that experience from that job, which will help you in the long run. Well, and depending on the job, they could hire you on right away, straight out of the college or university. Paid internship is the same thing like an internship, but the job will pay you. Um, and I kind of recommend if you're looking to get into those jobs, try to find those because if you could get in a paid internship that will pay you, um, that's a really good thing, and they could pay you a lot of, and they pay you really well. Some they even pay you better than some of the regular jobs out there. But you only work as a temp though, but they still get paid. Some get paid up to 17 to $20 an hour if you look. So that's really good paying money. But the thing is, what I was saying is, when you if you go to colleges or universities, look for those services like paid internships or internship jobs, so that will help you get into the job much more faster. The thing is, when you hear this common belief that you instantaneously will get a job, is not really true, because most people graduate don't even take any internships or paid internship jobs. Um, Most of the time won't get a job right off the bat, even despite what your degree is. Yes, there's jobs. I want to say half because I won't say most, but there's half. But the thing is, I would recommend trying to check out internships and paid internship jobs. But like I was saying, don't believe this common myth that when you go to a college or university and you think you're gonna instantaneously get a job, like with the info commercials and stuff like that, commercials and stuff, or people saying this and that, because it's not really that true. Uh, like I said, it's borderline true and borderline bullshit. So you have to do some research on what to do. Go to the college or university, talk to the advisors, uh, do this and that, and write down on which college, university, which one's got the better program for you. Um, so that's what I recommend. Do your research when you go to college, university. See if they have these internships and paid internship programs, and that fits into your program, and go to it. So because that will help you out in a much longer run, and you'll get a job. You get a better chance getting a job that way than doing it when you go straight from college, depending on which degree field you're going into. Um, but yeah, that's one of the ways I want to say. Another thing about degrees, do a lot of research on degrees too. And one of the reasons why I say that for is because a lot of people who goes to these colleges and universities, they take some, they go and take some of these off the wall degrees, or that they think liberal arts and general transfers will get you a job instantaneously too. And this is far from the truth. I'll talk about liberal arts and general transfers right now. Liberal arts and general transfers are pretty much transfer degrees. They move you from the next college. Most of these are from most of the time you see general transfers in liberal arts is mostly you see them in college. I mean, in community colleges. So if I go to Metro and if I see college, I mean general transfers in liberal arts, um, it's going to be more of a transfer degree to either Bellevue University or Creighton University or University of Nebraska of Omaha or University of Nebraska of Lincoln or any other universities around the country or even around the world. And that's what a liberal arts and general transfer is. It's more of a transfer degree. But people take these transfers and liberal arts degrees as a job degree, and really, that's not really true either. Because really a general degree and a liberal arts degree is too broad. Some people see it as some people see it as an advantage because with people with liberal arts, they could do anything they want with that degree. They could become anything you want. But the thing is, in reality, if you're looking to go to a certain job field, it don't really work that well into some of the professional jobs out there. They really want an actual degree to fit that to have you fit that criteria. They don't really want a liberal arts or general transfer degree, which could be mean any freaking thing out there. So unlike say a criminal justice degree or engineering degree or a medical degree, and stuff like that, which are the big degrees out there, um, that will help you um, get yourself into that will help you get you into major jobs out there in that field. Like engineering, there's so many engineering degrees out there. There's like computer degrees. There's so many computer jobs out there. There's so many robotic jobs out there. Science degrees, I mean, chemistry, biology, criminal justice, law, depending on which type of law, because there's some in the law, and I'll talk about that in a second. And let's see, fire, EMT, criminal justice. I said that. Medical, tons of medical degrees, especially medical is growing a lot. And some degree, like nursing, they really want people in that nursing field because there is a nursing shortage in this country too. But the thing is about those degrees and stuff too, you kind of have to do some little research into those primary degrees, which are also uh, which you're more likely to get a job too. Um, the thing is, there's certain parts of those like for example law. There's like oversaturations, like in for example lawyers. They're oversaturated in this market. They don't want too many lawyers. Well, you could go for lawyers. You could probably get a job, but most of the time you're going to get a paralegal degree at first before you work up to into the lawyer. But first, they really want you to become a public defender before you become a lawyer, because that's how most people become more successful if you become a public defender. Very rarely they're gonna give you a straight lawyer job right off the bat, unless you really know some contacts. So that's the thing to look into. You're the degrees I kind of recommend staying away from are women's studies, ethnic studies. Um, let's see what else. Philosophy, unless you're looking to become a philosophy teacher or looking to do something that that you could get in there much more faster. If you, and it comes down to when you know people. You kind of have to introduce yourself. I'll talk about that in a second. You kind of have to introduce your. Well, I'll talk about that now. You kind of have to introduce yourself to people you know to order to get that job. Because a lot of these jobs anymore out there, and I'm gonna be honest with you, they want experience. They want to know. They want to have that factor. So you got to um, show yourself out there to these people to order to get them to get you in to for them to get you interested to you. Because if you don't have that experience, even if you got that experience, know what you're doing and stuff like that, it still doesn't matter to that person. For example, I wanted to study, I was wanting to get into working at gun shops and or studying, looking to become a firearms instructor. And I know about a lot about firearms myself and stuff like that. Even though I kind of went basic on the Springfield XD video, but I still know a lot about them. I read about them a lot. Um, but reading about it, being home reading about it for 15, 20 years, uh, compared to actual experience, like have you actually handled, well, I have fired my guns off, my firearms, my Springfield XDs and stuff like, with the exception of the 3.3 because I haven't yet to fire that one yet. But anyway, um, they really want people that knows uh, knows what's going on with that job and that career um, before they accept you into that job. So most of them go for former or ex law enforcement, ex military, and stuff like that in that job because they know how to and they have the experience. Even though I will say this, not everyone in the military or law enforcement knows anything about guns. I will tell you that. And the reason why, because not every person in the military and law enforcement is interested in firearms. But the issue is, um, but the issue is too when it's from my experience and stuff, it's hard. So you have to go out there and you pretty much have to work your ass off to show people what you're made of in the job market. So and that's and it's especially much more difficult if you're looking to get into federal jobs because a lot you go to, like, for example, I went to the cops event last year in Norfolk, Nebraska, and I was talking to all these federal agents. And a lot of these federal agents, like for example, the FBI, they had a special paid internship program, and I was very very interested in it because they give you a top secret clearance card. You work with them guys, and you get to know how to do the job. Um, and that's what I was kind of looking to get into is FBI, not just because of the top secret clearance and stuff. I'm just that's one of the examples. Well, I also want to work into federal government jobs, but the thing is about that job though. Um, and I was talking to my other instructor, I was talking to my instructor advisor, wherever, and he said, "Don't do it." And I was sitting there, I was like, "Why?" And uh, and I just kind of think because he said it's kind of a BS thing. So I sat there thinking, well, you know what? I was thinking about signing up for it, but I was at the same time I decided, well, not to. So I talked to my other instructor, who's a former special agent of the FBI. He works up there at Metro, and he told me the reason not to not to do it because reasons. Majority of people who goes and do those type of programs, they really want people that's got a bachelor's and master's degrees. So, to a person from me, um, it would be like a very slim chance for me to get a job. I mean, get that paid internship job. And I was sitting there thinking, it's like I kind of wish I'd done it because that would probably, even though it was a very slim chance, I could have still done it. But I decided to listen to my advisors. But at the same time, he does have a point though because most of these federal jobs do want people with a minimum with a bachelor's degree. It's hard. They're not going to really. It's very rare. Well, not very rarely, but it's rarely uncommon that they will accept people straight out of community college unless they really like you or got these special talents um, behind that whole ordeal. Uh, so that's one of the crucial things. I kind of wish I'd done it, um, but at the same time, Um, I don't I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. I wish I'd done it, but at the same time, yeah. Oh well. But they do have those plans. You could go do it, but and those are some of the offers to do to get yourself into that career field. Even though if it's really impossible, try it. Even though I kind of made that mistake not doing it, but I would just go ahead and do it whatever you can. The thing is, I want to say is, um, going back onto the topic though, is like I was saying about degree fields and stuff, like becoming an arts major, stuff. Unless you're looking to become an arts teacher, or you got a job set up, or people waiting for you in that degree field, I would not recommend doing arts majors. I would not recommend doing women's studies unless you're looking to go overseas to do it because they want because people treatment of women overseas is a lot different compared to the United States and most of the Western world or some certain Asian nations like Japan, for example. But in most of the but in third world countries, I kind of understand because women are treated like crap. So I would recommend if you're looking to do women's studies, looking to do traveling, that's a good expedite good thing. But looking to do take women's studies and ethnic studies about like racial issues, they're not going to really get you that much of a job career field into anything. They will if you're looking to tag team it with another. If you're looking to tag team with another degree like criminal justice or law, stuff like that, or if you're looking to go into psychology or social, well not sociology, well sociology you get added to, but if you're looking to add it to psychology or law enforcement or ENT or stuff like that, then that's highly recommended because that will help you boost that will help you boost your job performance much more better, and you have a much more better understanding what's going on. Because there's people that's like from foreign nations that live here and stuff, and they run. If you come in contact with them, then you can understand and learn more about that culture than um, than what the average people is. But in most of the cases, they're pointless. Unless, like I said, if you're looking to tag team with another degree, or if you're looking to work, or if you're looking to go to another country, then highly recommend doing that. But in most cases, don't do it. Or if you're looking to become like a college degree instructor or looking to be a teacher, that's a different story. Like an arts major, if you're looking to become a teacher, yes. Because the reason why I say that because most people who take these degrees and they don't really put too much confidence into it, and that's another reason why I kind of say that. Say that. But anyway, like about that, moving on to another thing about colleges and universities, I want to say is, um, let's see what I was about to say. If you go to a college or university, another certificates is another one I was saying. People think that certificates is also automatically you get a job, and this is also far from the truth too. Certificates are only good for if you're looking to get into certificates are fast. I call them a very fast thing, a very fast degree. If you're looking to take if you don't want to wait 2 years for associates, you could use get a certificate into some of those special fields, like CNA is the biggest one of certificates. Trade schools, which is very highly recommended too. If the reason, if you don't really want to go to colleges or university, trade schools are very useful, and you could get a certificate really quick too. Depending, you could get one in 2 years, and you got the. Uh, those are extremely useful if you're not really into college bound. If you're more into wanting to work into those subjects and stuff like that, that's very useful. Sorry if I'm being repetitious. I'm very sorry about that. I better get used to that because I am repetitious a little bit. But I hope you guys getting what I'm trying to say though. The but the thing about certificates, it will help you get into other jobs like air conditioning. Mostly the hands-on jobs, I call them, plumbing, electrician, um, let's see, air conditioning, construction work, or truck driving, um, CNA, stuff like that. Those are most of the degrees, and they will help you out on a job, help you out getting a job. But most people who get these certificates automatically think they're gonna get the super jobs, um, like these high paying jobs. What I mean by like super jobs, like you're gonna get paid 30 to 40 to $100 an hour. And the thing is, I want to say as rarely, uh, sort of, kind of, very rarely, um, because see, most people who get certificate jobs are they going to go into a job field that's kind of still minimum wage at best. Um, and the main reason I say that, and they need like CNAs for example, they need people like working at nursing homes or retirement homes is one of them. I'm just trying to think rehab stuff like that or hospice, and they go there and you kind of learn the basics how to take care of a person. Most people who take CNA, they also well half the people that take CNA they also go into nursing field too. So or they go into other fields in medical. So it does have some advantages, and but at the same time, it's not like this massive money maker either. Um, and this is also true with people who get these degrees and they go off into another job field which don't fit like for example if a person went into criminal justice but suddenly went into like went into social working or they went into making houses. That's also true because this happens a lot. But but at the same time, like I was saying about certificates, are you gonna get this massive jump in economics and stuff like? I mean, like in money and stuff. It really depends on which type of job you're doing. If you got a family-owned job, that's you're gonna get a lot of money. Well, depending on the family and stuff like that. But if you're looking at a well-paid job like constructions or something like that, because construction you get paid a lot of money, but to a lot of people they act like you're gonna get like $100,000 within like the first year, and it's not really true because they have to train you. It's the same thing when it comes down to it. They want experience from you. They want the know how. They don't want a person straight. Well, they do want people like that, but they don't want. But in most of these professional construction jobs, they want a person that has some experience or has some education in the background. So, and they see what you're doing at that job, they'll take you in. I hope I'm doing this right because I'm not really like a very professional advisor for colleges, universities, and stuff like that. But I'm just kind of giving you guys the basic tips. But you kind of have to understand because there's a lot of these people who go to colleges, universities, trade schools, and act like they're gonna get this automatic $100,000 to a multi-million-dollar CEO job right out the bat, and it's far from the damn truth. That's only one in a freaking million people going. It's gonna only happen unless you really know what the hell you're doing too. So it really comes down to you and personally. So and where to talk to and the note and where to contacts. So that's what I'm kind of explaining. Hold on, let me get a drink. Gosh, this cough. But anyway, like I was saying, um, when you're going into degrees or looking to get certificates, do a lot of research into them. See what, and even if women's studies and stuff like that looks useful, take it on the side. Take another degree, uh, that you're more likely gonna get a job into, and that will help you out. So I would recommend doing that. Another thing I would highly recommend doing too, and it might cost you a little bit more money or what, is take language classes because that's also a good paying job, and that will also and also in like in fields that you want to go travel or looking to go into criminal justice or fire, EMT, law or medical and stuff like that. And if you got that language skills up, you're gonna get paid a lot of money because a lot of people don't know bilingual is a really you're gonna make tons and tons of money, and well, not tons and tons, but you're gonna be making more extra money compared to a person that isn't bilingual. So I highly recommend doing that. I'm planning to do that very soon. Probably won't do it till sometime next year or 2018. So I recommend doing that. But the thing is, uh, now let's talk about clubs and or sororities and fraternaries and stuff. Are they useful, or are you looking to? I actually never been with a fraternary. They don't really have a fraternary or sorority school at Metro. They do have a thing called Phi Beta Kappa, which is more of an honorary class, which I'm part of. But and the thing is, these clubs can be useful for your future degree, for your future career, which you're looking to get into. And do I recommend them? It really depends on the club or what you're looking at. It really depends on the club or honorary class you're looking to get into. Personally, I could care less about fraternaries. Or if you're a woman yourself, or you're looking to get into sororityism, I don't really see any really good benefits about them lately. Actually, they've been getting a lot of bad press lately because with their like hazing and all this other stupidity shit they've been doing lately in the last few years. So I don't really. It's a lot of people said you get into those fraternaries and sororities and stuff like that, you get good paying jobs, which could be true, which is true, but at the same time, I don't really recommend them at unless you're looking to get get more know-how people that would take you in and build you up. And I'm not saying that all fraternities and sororities and stuff are good or bad or anything. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but there's good ones out there. But you kind of have to look into it a little bit. It's like going into degree fields and stuff like that. You kind of have to know what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into, so you don't get yourself in a rut. Because like I was saying earlier about people when you like about people going using universities at colleges as universities and colleges as vacation, and most of these places like sororities and fraternaries and stuff like that. The thing is, there's people in there that don't give a shit about you either. So you kind of have to do. I'm not trying to say sound like an antisocial person. I don't care what you guys are looking to do. If you got want to have fun, but be smart about it. Use your mind when you're going to those places, universities, colleges, or clubs and stuff like that. But I was also pretty much kind of now of a defunct global student club, which I was most even though I wasn't born in another country, but I love reading about cultures. I like studying about international affairs and stuff like that. And I was hanging out with a lot of people, but and great people there. The club was fantastic. Even though there were some people I didn't really like, didn't really care for, because some were like asinine and stuff like that. But most of the people there were pretty cool and got along very well. Um, but the thing is, also if the people that because I got some people from the GSC club. Don't worry, I'm not talking about you. um, I'm just talking about the people I'm not friends with from that club. But anyway, like I was saying, it really depends on you. It really depends. If you really because there's people who go to college, universities, they're just focused on a career and degree. They don't really give a shit about these fraternaries. They don't give a shit about these sororities. They don't give a shit about clubs or these honor societies. The thing is about the GPA, which is also true too, but it will help you out a lot. It will help you out a lot depending on which job field, but there's some job fields they really want a good GPA rating too, and also schools too, like universities. They want a good GPA, but in most cases, like in regular jobs and stuff like that, they don't really care about GPAs. But I recommend just keep a higher GPA at least above a 3.5, which is good. But at the same time, don't use your GPA as a total reliance on automatically and get a job because that's not even true either. Like I was saying earlier, you got to do research, you got to work on yourself to get yourself somewhere in that job field, not to rely on what the school says because the school says this, but once you get to that school, they're going to do things differently. I hope you guys understand that part because uh people could people could say stuff and they'll do other things. So you kind of have to take everyone's word as bullshit sometimes when it comes to serious issues like with school and education. If you're looking to go there, you kind of have to take it as bullshit unless you do much more work and they tell you this and that. So you kind of have to be on your ass a little bit. But if you know what's going on, then you don't have to worry about that issue. But um, but the thing is it very useful to get into these clubs? It really depends on you. I think once I get into university, I don't think I'll probably get into any clubs. I'm just probably definitely since I'm like 30 years old right now, I mostly just want to get shit done and get on to my into my career field right now. And I want to get, like I say, I want to have to get my associates. I'm just gonna go focus on getting a job and also get my bachelor's right away. Don't really care on what the clubs or anything else. I just want to just get, and that's how I am. I just want to get things done nowadays. I just don't care about all these clubs or fraternities or sororities and shit like that. And I'm kind of more mature. Another thing I want to say about mature before I go, because I think I'm in it at this, is when you go to college or university, and there's a lot of people you hear from high school, and I'm gonna say this, if you're not ready, especially for a person who just got out of high school, if you're not ready for college or university, don't go. Um, the reason why I say that, because I'm just trying to save you a lot of money, and I'm just trying to save you from getting bad grades. And the main reason I see this a lot with people who go to colleges, universities, and a lot of them just drop out. A lot of them just drop out. The reason, if you look at the proof of point, uh, for college, universities, and stuff like that, there's like people who's trying to, which I kind of understand. If you're in because I was like in that field too. I really wanted to get in college but the GED kind of fucked me up on that part. But at the same time, I kind of understand I wasn't really ready for college, so I'd probably been flunking out. Um, so the best thing, what I was saying, I just waited, and more I waited, I was more mature, and I just got more focused at school, and I got high grade averages with A's and B's. Well, I got two B's and rest of them A's. But there's people who get this idea to prove a point, though. What I'm trying to say is it's a good thing to do, but at the same time, it's a bad thing to do because and I want to say this too. If you're going to university, college, and if you're not ready for it, like I was saying earlier, don't do it. The reason why, because there's a lot of these people who go in there and do it, and you hear it on these commercials, hear it on the commercials, especially when they're trying to get to people that got kids already. And there's people who got kids or in colleges, universities, single parents, no matter if it's male or female. Um, and they do very damn well. However, in most cases, though, most people that are single parents, they don't really can't deal with that. I was tutoring with somebody. I was helping a person out. I'm not gonna give nobody's name out. I don't do that. But I was helping this person. I was helping her. She was the first time I got to university and college. She's like 22, 23, I believe. She already has about 5 kids. Single parent. And I could tell you she's not real. I was, even though she passed her classes, I helped her pass that writing class because I didn't know the one she was taking was math. I don't know math at shit. But I helped her pass that writing class. Sorry. But she barely passed it because she was not on time with things. And she was moving, doing this and that, helping her kids. So I was sitting there thinking, it's like, and I told her last quarter, I told her for the ending of the quarter and stuff like that, I told her go, just don't take any college classes or university. Well, don't take any college classes for the winter. Just focus on your kids and come back in the spring. Because I could tell you she was not ready for college. She was taking these pass and fail classes. These are math and writing classes, but she wasn't really ready. She, even though she passed them, but she was. I could tell she was not ready for them. And had she took like graded college classes, she would get devastated. But if you're not ready for college, if you're not ready for college or university, my best bet is just to wait. Don't listen to people that's trying to get you. Don't listen to people that's telling you to get in college or university. If you're not ready to go for it, don't go. Don't waste your time and money and stuff like that to go to college or university if you're not ready. Same if you're going to trade school. Just take a. To be honest, I tell people, after you get out of university or I mean after you get out of high school, just take a year break. Just take a year break from education and think, or just go out and get a job. Think and decide what you want to do. Then go for it. Because if you're not really ready for college, university, you're gonna be struggling. You're gonna be frustrated, and it's gonna be a total waste of time. You're just gonna totally burn out. Then, then you're just gonna be dropping the classes. Then the thing is, depending on which kind of university college it is, and if you took out, which like I said, don't do it. Don't take out student loans or anything like that. It's gonna cost you. So, like I said, don't do any of that stuff. Just get your stuff done and focus. I mean, after you get out of high school, just focus on yourself because you're an adult right now when you get out of high school. So if you really want to do stuff, just think. Actually, when you get to high school, I mean, when you're in like 11th or 12th grade, because there's also honor classes and stuff like that where most people go to classes around 11th, 12th grade. Those honor classes, and most of those honor classes will help you get into university much more faster. Colleges, university, mostly with colleges, but that would help you a lot more to be prepped for college. So that's probably another idea to do. But I would recommend if you're in 11th, 12th grade, just do your research, do your own planning before you get into a college university. Because a lot of people think college university is this. Damn, sorry. Actually, it is when you think about it. It's like a coughing matter because most people who think about going to college and university, they think you're automatically gonna get this job, this miracle job, and like I said, it's very rarely they're gonna give you a CEO job of like right off the bat or any other job without any experience because most of these jobs they want experience. They want to see how you work before you get into there. So you just before you go into college or university, do a lot of background research, see what's good for you, see which degree you want. If you don't like the college university route, go to trade school. If you're a hands-on person, that's where you're gonna work best at is a trade school. And the reason why, because a lot of people who go in there with hands-on experience in most of these jobs and stuff, they don't like it. They just like, yeah, I don't want to sit here and be doing this stuff in a book. And then they really want to work with their hands. It's like I was talking to a friend of mine because a couple years ago I was trying to get him in college at the time, and I didn't really understand this at the time. And he said, man, as much as he is a smart person, um, but he don't want to go to college. And he told me this reason why I don't want to go to college because I don't want to sit there on a book all the time. I just want to work with things on my hands. I want to move things. I want to work with things. Um, he just wants to work with things on his hands. He construction, a lot of things. So I kind of wish I told him about trade school, but at the time it uh, didn't come into my head. But if you're not ready for that, just go to trade school, get a certificate, try to find a job, um, and do things that way and stuff like that. You kind of have to when you're trying to look for a job, you gotta work on yourself. Don't go trying to look for jobs thinking you're gonna get this and that, or don't think there's no jobs. You probably have to look. Another thing you have to do if you're, I will say this: if you're looking to get a job, and if you're looking to go like, be prepared if you can't find one in your own city, you might have to go move to another city or state to find that job. So prepared to move and prepared to do this and that. So it's really up to you. That's all I could say really about it. Just really up to you. Just be smart about it. Do a lot of research. Do a lot of studying. Do a lot of things that will help you out. Don't prove to every. I don't. I mean not everyone, but don't prove to make someone else happy. Make yourself happy. Be ready. If you're not ready, don't do it. If you're ready, then go do it. Because if you're not ready, you're gonna have a terrible time. It's gonna turn out to be a disaster in the end. However, there's sometimes people who are not ready to go to college and suddenly they really like it and they're doing very well. Well, it's um I that's no problem right there. If it works for them, and that's good. But it really depends on you. That's all I could say. But I hope you guys got the do's and don'ts. And I hope you guys kind of understand what's going on and stuff like that because a lot of people there's a lot of this false misconception. I can't pronounce that word. False stuff out there. A lot of myths and stuff like that. Especially where people think you can automatically get a job when you're straight out of college, and that's which is half true and half bullshit. So you got to look and research on your own. On the FAFSA a little bit, I'll talk about this. If you're looking to looking to file for FAFSA and stuff, you can do it on a computer, or you have to do it like places like Education Quest. They'll help you out. They'll do it for you for free. Only thing you have to do, well, if you didn't work, you don't have to do the taxes. But if you do work, you have to file your taxes to them. You have to show them your W-2s or 1040As and stuff like that, and show them other things, your proof of income, Social Security, retirement, and all, pretty much every damn thing you have to show your whole life story. But you'll be okay and stuff like that. It's pretty much easy, very easy. But if you're working and stuff, depending if you're working at like a small place, it'll still give you financial aid, which is good. So it'll help you with your income a little bit. But if you're working, if you make over that certain amount, they won't give you financial aid. So I recommend going down there, and if you're looking to get financial aid, looking to go straight to college or university, I'd recommend doing it that way. Do some research on that. But other than that, that's the only thing I could really say. And I hope you guys like this video. If I hope you guys like this tip video. And once I talk more, once things, I might come back onto this topic if I get more stuff. And there's probably more things I probably forgot. So I'll probably do a part two of it one of these days. So I hope you guys understand. I'm sorry that this video went over an hour long, but it's a very useful video. It's a very useful video um, to get some information. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Oh well, hold on. Before I go, I'm not having weekly military news coming up. Like I said, either today, probably tomorrow, or probably tomorrow Wednesday. So keep checking on that. I'll let you guys go. I'll see you.